What's up, my FY Fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FY Fly podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, aka the kid that did and the man that can, baby. Today, we're gonna be chopping it up with CFO, mentor, and commissioned auditor, Mr. Yinka Majekodunmi. How are you?
There
How
you
are you,
go.
brother?
You got my name right on the first try, man. That in itself
Yes.
is an effort. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir, man. I'm gonna try to do my best for sure. Always super happy to be connected with you here, man. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna rock out. Shout out to Dr. Russell Motley for connecting us, and
Yes,
it's gonna be
sir.
a good one.
Russell getting the shout outs he deserves, man. I appreciate Russell.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I met him at FMU. He brought me to come speak a couple times. But we're no longer at the FMU. We're on FYI Fly,
There you
and what
go.
we normally
FYI
like to
fly.
do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what we normally like to do, we like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff. How that
There
sound?
you go. It sounds great to me, man.
All
Good
right. So
stuff
the
sounds
first
good.
thing I would say the first thing that I want to know is, were you always good with money coming up, or was there like a turning point in your life where you were like, okay, now it's time for me to get right?
I wish I could say that I was always good with money, but that would be a lie. I was
Gotta
not
keep it
always good
authentic,
with
baby.
money.
Let's hear
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
luckily, I was fortunate enough to be one of the few students who was into finance in college, a finance and accounting major.
Okay.
Also got my master's, then went on to get my CPA license. So for the most part, I really had no excuse not to know the right thing to do. Like, everybody used to say, "Oh, I don't know about credit. I don't know how to manage my credit. I don't know how to manage money." But I had no excuse, so I had to get right on the path after getting all the knowledge from school and then implementing it in real life. But I definitely had my personal struggles, bad investments, maxing out credit cards on stupid things. Came through all that journey. Lessons learned. Never again, though.
No, 100%. I'm really glad that you said that. You were a finance major, but finance is only teaching business financials. So, what were some of the things that were similar, and what were some of the differences between you managing your business finances and your personal finances? Break that down for us.
Budget side is the head of the snake, right? Get that
Mm-hmm.
together. Understand what you bring in versus what you need to spend on. Understand what your disposable income is, and then you start being creative on how you invest. Now, on that note, just like most businesses, they invest in inventory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some may invest in, interest-bearing accounts. But personally, we have a few things to invest in, right? Because we don't have inventory as a person. You have either buying stocks, buying real estate, using other
Mm-hmm.
tools, getting involved in different type of trades. So from a personal standpoint, our disposable income could go to only so many things. But I had to learn that part. I had to learn that part over time to see what works better, what I could even do. It's not for You start with just understanding the balance sheet as a person, which is your net worth. And I
Mm-hmm.
always say this to this day. I tell people this all the time. If you know your credit score and you don't know your net worth, you're doing something wrong. Because everybody
Mm-hmm.
should know their net worth. That number may be zero, it could be negative, but if you know
Uh,
your credit score, you need to know what your net worth is. You need to
So
calculate your
why
net
is
worth
that?
as
Dive
an
into that.
individual.
Why is that knowing that net worth so important? And I'm asking that because people need to understand the why. Like we talked about on the phone the first time we chatted, man.
The why.
You'll tell somebody, hey, work out and get that six pack, or you'll tell somebody, hey, work out, or if you don't work out, you could be risk to high diabetes, high cholesterol, all those negative things.
100%.
So
100%.
why is it important to know about your net worth?
What is your net worth? Your net worth is everything you own minus everything you owe.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could be making a lot of money, but I also owe a lot of money. So my net worth could be zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's easy for us as consumers or regular people to look at the TV and say, oh, Elon is worth 200 billion. Jeff Bezos is worth 180 billion. They know their net worth. That's how they make decisions. That's how they make investment decisions. That's how they make purchase decisions, right? Jeff Bezos is not going to buy a $300 billion house because his net worth is 190. But we
Mm-hmm.
have no problem seeing some people buying X, whatever it is. I don't want to pick on anybody because if I say purse, the woman goes, I'm picking on the women. If I say sneakers, the guy goes, I'm picking on the guys. But whatever it is, you're buying something that's much, much larger than your net worth. Anybody else doing that would be crazy. That's just the way
Understood.
it is. It guides you. That's the why.
Understood.
Because it guides you.
That's a great breakdown. That's a great breakdown. And I really want to get right into your investing bag, man. So I want to know, what is the first step to start investing? Like, let's say one of your friends or family members called you on the phone and they're like, Yinka, what should be my first steps when it comes to investing money? What would that be?
The first step I tell people is know who you are first. Who are you first? You need to know
Mm-hmm.
who you are first because that's what's going to guide your investment decision. Why I
And what do
say
you mean
that
by
is
that?
because
Explain that. Go ahead.
why I say that is because you have to make a decision whether you are a spender or an investor.
Mm-hmm.
All of us at some point we have one path that we're going to get to, and then you have the crossroads. When you have disposable income, and I'm not good at this, I'm not knocking anybody because I struggle with this to this day.
Yeah.
When you have disposable income, you have a crossroads. Like I could buy something to reward myself, or I could put this money in an investment. That habit is what's going to decide how you invest into the future, right? So
Yeah.
understanding who you are first. Are you going to be someone who wants to invest and prioritize investment? If that's your decision, then everything from that point should be investing until the wheels fall off. That's a personal decision you got to make off the top because this is what I want to do. Now, once you get to that point, the vehicles you use is really up to you. I would say
Okay.
make that decision first. The next step is let's just get some habits going. How much disposable income do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Open a brokerage account. Right now, every time I'm in any school, I stand right there and say, open a brokerage account right now. Log in right now to your phone, download this app, and open that
Yeah.
account right now. Whether it's Robinhood or any other account, open it right. This is what I tell the kids. I make them open it right then and there
Uh-huh. Because we can.
because
We
I
have
know,
the option to do it. Like you
yes,
said.
I stand right there, and a lot of people will tell you this. I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch this and say, "Yeah, he made me do that." I stand right there and I make them say, "Download the app right now, open the account right now,"
All right. So
because
you
that's the
say the
first step.
first step
That's really
is
the first step.
to know and understand yourself. And then
Yes,
after you understand kind of your investment philosophy, where
yes,
would you go from there? Is it, you know, in your opinion, should it be the individual stocks? Should it be the ETF? Should it be
I
the real
love it.
estate? What's
I
kind
love
of
it.
like let's say easy, you want to start off easy and work your way up. So what would be like an easy first investment?
So the lesson is this. This is what I do in practice, right? So I'm
Yeah.
saying this from experience. People who've never invested, people that I'm standing in front of them and I'm saying, download that app right now.
Mm-hmm.
I make them buy a stock, just one share of a stock right then and there. So what do
Mm-hmm.
you want? Okay, I see you got Nike shoes on. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go and buy one share of Nike. I don't know what it is, but $60, $80, whatever it is. You
Yeah.
got $80, right? One share. Why am I doing that? I want them to get into psychology of investing. They could see the screen. Then it forces them to start asking questions, right? Because now they're going to see terminologies they never heard before. Remember, for me and you, all those terminologies are like second nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are looking at this thing, stop loss, stop
Yeah,
order, like all this thing, like they're looking at it
for
like, wait a
sure.
minute, what's all this, right? And then there's the units and the price, and then you see the day close. There's so many things to kind of learn on the fly. But the first
Mm-hmm.
thing you do, I tell them just buy that. Your sweater is whatever company, let's buy that right now.
Got you.
Because it gets them in the game. It gets them in the
Mm-hmm.
game. It's like taking somebody to the gym. You got to go into the gym first,
Yeah.
right? We could watch basketball videos all day. We could watch basketball games all day. I just want you to get inside the gym
And shoot a shot.
and
Shoot the
shoot a
shot.
shot. I don't know if you're going to make it. You probably might not make it, right? But I want you to take
Mm-hmm.
that first shot just to get out your system. And then now,
Yeah.
this is where the advanced stage comes in, right? Because you asked me
Mm-hmm.
a very good question, and I got to give you a real answer, right? In the advanced stages, we start staying away from individual stocks gradually. That's the goal, gradually. Why am I saying that? Because until people really learn how to do proper asset allocation, it's
Mm-hmm.
very dangerous to buy individual stocks. Individual anything. It doesn't even matter what it is. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't tell anybody to put all their money in real estate. I wouldn't tell anybody to put all their money in cryptocurrency. And I wouldn't tell
Yeah.
anybody to put all their money in stocks. I'm an ETF.
I'm
Still wouldn't
right
tell
there
nobody to
with
put
you.
all
I love them
ETF.
ETFs.
Yeah, man. Easy.
I actually got a story. So the first time that I started to invest, I was a junior in college, and no, I was a sophomore. It was my sophomore year of college. My dad, he brought me a stock book for Christmas. He gave me
Wow.
$300, told me to pick some investments. I chose all individual stocks. I'm a real type person where I try to find the diamonds in the rough. So I
Yep.
read through all the book. I mean, I read through the magazine and found companies that weren't too popular, but I felt that they could blow up. And I kept them for about a year and a half. And I just kept
Wow.
checking them, kept checking, and I'm like, why am I not rich yet?
Exactly.
I've invested and I'm not rich. I thought that's how it works. But
No.
then a year later, I got into my investing analysis class my junior year,
Mhm.
and my teacher told me, she said, invest early and often and buy ETFs, which are groups of stocks, to lower that risk and increase your diversification.
Exactly.
So
Oh
since
man, you
then,
nailed it.
I've been on the ETFs, man.
I love it. I love it. I'm glad somebody else is talking about ETFs. But I got to say though, Hassan, you started way early. If you're talking about sophomore, junior in college, you're way ahead of the game because
Mm-hmm.
most people don't start until after college, right?
For
Like,
sure.
I know people in college that don't even have a brokerage account. So
And that's
you
why we're
started
doing this,
early.
because we have a lot of young folks listening, a lot of Gen Zers, a lot of young millennials. So that's why we're talking about
100%.
this, so they can get our true experiences. And then from listening, they can go
Exactly.
act on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the
So
goal.
I really kind of want to know as well. You talked about the kids that you talk to and you mentor, and you tell them, hey, open up this investing app, buy this stock right here. Okay, that's cool. I'm hearing you. But if that kid was to ask you, why should I invest my money? What's the point? What's your response to that?
My response is that you have to find a way to generate income without working. That's my first answer to them because they could relate to that, right? Guess what I tell them right after?
What?
I say it's not a short game now. Don't get confused. Don't get don't get
Don't
confused.
expect to
It's not
get rich like I did
exactly.
off
Don't
three
think you
investments.
don't think you're gonna be Elon Musk in 2 weeks. It doesn't work like
Mm-hmm.
that. But I do know though that because you're 19 today in college, if you invested $50 a month in an ETF in 10 years when you're 28, and all of us know 28 is still pretty young, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have X amount of thousands of dollars that will put you way ahead of the game of everybody else.
For
And we're not
sure.
talking about investment. We're not talking about retirement benefits. We're talking about just investment. Your own money, invest in it.
And I think
That's
another
the way it
great
goes.
point to, you know, talk about incentivizing and investing. We're going to go hard. We're going to chase our dreams. But imagine having a side fund on the side of you that is building while you're building your business, or you're working at your 9 to 5 job and you're trying to scale up. Imagine automatically investing that 50, 100, $150 a month in that ETF, in that Roth IRA. So while you're scaling up, say something bad happens, it's okay because you still got
Exactly.
this wad of money that you've
Yeah,
been investing for years upon years upon years. So I think
exactly.
that's another reason why people should be investing, to have that
Mm,
that fallback fund. You know what I mean?
that's the goal to have that because most of us coming up, we didn't have that. We didn't have that safety net.
At all.
If this one went to zero, we were in big
We
trouble.
at zero.
Yeah, exactly. So that piece of it, I'm happy you said that. That piece of it is where we say, this is the objective. This is why you want to do this. And if you
Hmm.
continue this over time, 20 years, I think you could make some real money. I'll tell you a story just to put it in context,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget this. I had a chance to buy Netflix stocks when they IPO, when they did their IPO.
Hmm.
I tell the story all the time. I actually have pictures. I think that maybe I don't know how much it was. It was very cheap. I could have bought maybe $300 worth, right?
Yeah.
I didn't. I went to Foot Locker and I bought the red 11.
Okay.
You know how much that $300 worth of Netflix stock was worth today if I did buy it then?
How much?
$300. This is not a long time ago. This is less than 20 years ago because this is the IPO. It's almost $200,000.
So the three. So is that an opportunity cost? What is that? What is that right there?
That is worth an opportunity cost, right? Because how
uh.
many years did I actually wear those shoes? Not a long time, like
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years. But I could have had today close to 200,000. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I would have actually been seeing it going up. So chances are I would have been buying more too. I'm like, oh man,
Gotcha.
my 200 just became 5,000. I'm gonna buy more. Like the habit would have
Mm-hmm.
been, I could have had easily. So
Mm-hmm.
think of those losses just because, again, you're not disciplined, you're impatient, you don't believe in investing because a lot of people don't believe in investing. This is why we're trying to say, believe in it, but not as a short-term opportunity. Believe in it as a long-term strategy. That's the goal.
100%. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I have a couple more questions for you. I really want to talk about, the for the people that you've coached, the people that you've helped over the years, what certain mindset roadblocks have you come across that has stopped people from investing?
Again, I have a post that I made. You're gonna like this one, and I wrote, I posted it on Twitter and I have it on my Instagram page. I said, for a long time, Hassan, I used to think the fight and the battle was lack of information and lack of access to financial literacy. But as soon as I got into it, I found
Hmm.
out that it was a certain mindset. The fight, the battle was against a mindset. It wasn't against the lack of financial information.
Yeah,
So when I got into it, when I started dealing with more people, I said, oh, it's not that you don't know, it's that your mindset is not where it should be to be an investor type personality.
gotcha.
The mindset. So that's the way I encountered it. And what I
Hmm.
did, honestly, and sometimes you appreciate this because you know how it is. Sometimes you have to let people be, and when they're ready, they come back to you.
Yeah,
But then if you,
unfortunately, that's the truth, the harsh reality. But that's why I kind of do this podcast. That's why I'm in these schools because I don't want people to have to burn themselves before they come back and like, hey, now I want to learn this. But unfortunately, a lot of people, and especially people that look like us, we got to get burnt a little bit before we come back and,
before,
and seek help. Unfortunately.
exactly, man, our son was right this whole time, man. And then they're gonna call you, hey, son, man, remember you telling me that last year? can you can you go over it again? That's how
Yeah, it'll be 10 years later when I'm 30
yeah,
something. They're going to be like, remember when you was talking about this in college?
yes,
Yes. And did you
yes,
do it?
exactly.
No.
Missed opportunity. So that's how
Man.
it is. What I try to do, honestly, I try to put as much foot on the pedal as possible just to get the information out to people in an
Yeah.
honest way, right? But then it's up to people to accept it.
Something that you said people are lacking a investor's personality. How do we cultivate or how does someone cultivate an investor's personality? What does that look like?
They have to know the why.
Yeah.
Because if I go somewhere and tell them, hey, you need to have an investor's mindset and personality, they're like, why? I'm fine. Like, Yinka, don't come with your no, don't come with your nonsense right now. I'm good.
Yeah.
But I have to translate the why to them. I say, okay,
Hmm.
what do you want to do in the next 5 years? What do you want to do in the next 10? What does it look like for you? Do you want to take up this opportunity? Because right now we're talking about stocks in the market, but also there's other opportunities to invest, right? There's real estate, there's buying businesses, small businesses, investing in startups. Those are more a little bit more complex, right? But let's stick to the market and equity and stocks.
Yeah.
Is that understanding what the disposable income is, educating them on putting a certain amount away. And the way to do it is tell them this amount is what they could start with and see if they could cultivate that habit. If your disposable income is $500, I'll say just drop 20 every month or drop 30 every month.
Yeah.
Just so you could develop that habit.
Hmm.
But you kind of see the results too because you may not miss that amount, but you when you go to your brokerage, you're like, wow, this adds up real quickly. Plus the
For sure.
appreciation of the asset.
And that
That's the
progression
way to
keeps you
cultivate.
going a little bit.
Yeah, you get
Hmm.
momentum and you're feeling good. You feel you're progressing. So it's trying to teach them that let's look at your disposable income. Let's what you can put away. And then the cherry on the ice cream is when I show them what their net worth is.
I think that's why it's so important we're here doing what we're doing. And I really want to ask you one more question. This is going to be a real fun one for you. You know, we
Right.
can't have you on FY Fly and not ask you our famous final question. So I'm going
All
to say
right.
two quotes, and I need you to let me know which one is more accurate in your opinion, all right? All right, so the first one is more money, more problems. Shout out to Biggie Smalls.
Right.
And the second one is money can't buy happiness. Which one do you agree with most?
Whew. Whew. You're making it hard, man.
Yes, sir. Make them
Um,
think a little bit. Yes, sir.
yeah. The one I would agree with most is money can't buy happiness.
Mm. Okay, why is that?
Again, there's poverty in the land. We agree with that.
Mm.
But people who've had the opportunity to have a certain amount of wealth or resources will quickly tell you, because remember, it's a mountain, right? They're on the top of the mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets to the mountain, they realize that the accumulation of all this wealth solved a lot of problems for them. Comfort problems. Be
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable. You can be very comfortable. Go to everywhere, anywhere, restaurant, bar, country, travel, buy the best
Yeah.
car, best outfit. But the happiness part has a lot to do with things outside of money that you cannot buy. That's
Mm-hmm.
the difficult part. And I think as you progress in your journey, it always sounds crazy when rich people say that, right? Ah, money can't buy happiness. Like, bro, give me 2 billion, I'm going to be happy.
For sure.
but but when I think about it, I always look at myself and say, there's a lot of times where I had resources, but I don't think I was in my peak happiness,
Mm-hmm.
right? At that point. And there's a lot of times where I know I didn't have much resources, but I had a certain level of peak happiness at that point in time. So I'll be lying to say, oh, money buys happiness because I know it doesn't. I know there's more things. There's
Mm-hmm.
relationships, there's family, there's motivation,
Reaching
um,
your goals.
reaching your goals, having a purpose, and those
Mm-hmm.
things give you happiness that money could never buy. Um,
Agreed.
Otherwise, the richest people will be the happiest people, but they're not. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
they're not.
Yeah, we see. I mean, we
So that's
see it
the way
all
I
the
see it.
time, man. But I really appreciate, you're genuine, you're authentic, and you come straight from the heart, man. And we really appreciate you joining the FY Flop podcast. If you have any final words, any final takeaways, go ahead and also let them know where they can contact
I appreciate you, Hassan. Man, you're doing something big here, man. You do something great here for the people, man. We need
you.
you.
Thank you,
We
thank
need you for
you.
sure. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading the word. My closeout statement is people should have a pen and paper right now. 3 things they need to write down. Number one, understand your credit worthiness by knowing your credit score.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing to do right after that is calculating your net worth and knowing what your net worth is.
Yeah.
The last thing is opening a brokerage account, even if you put nothing in it. That's what I'll say.
I love the top three. I love the takeaways.
There
I'm
you
a
go.
person of takeaway and action items, and those were the three. Get your credit score right, understand your net worth, and then open up a brokerage account and start investing.
Bingo. That's
Yinka,
it.
you killed it today, my man. Thank you so
I
much for
tried,
joining the
man.
show. For all my listeners, take those three action items and run with them. Start
Run
with
with it.
one, perfect it, get it going, go to the second one, get it going, go to the third one, get it going, step in that gym, shoot your shot, and
There
keep
you
on
go.
working. Keep on working.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To all our listeners, you already know what time it is. We need y'all to stay safe, stay invested, and stay FYI fly. We'll see
Yes,
y'all next
sir.
week.
Thank you, man. Great talking.